Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey. I'm joined by my co-host, Corey.
Hey, everybody.
We're at playoff time.
Hells yeah.
So where do we want to start this episode? I think we should probably start it with last night's game.
Yeah, last night's game. You were there. I was supposed to make the trip. I don't know what I caught yesterday. I'm still having side effects of it, but I just felt like complete miserable dog doo-doo yesterday.
So you missed the game. You were in the live stream
Yeah.
chat. I saw that. You and Tracy were both there. You were running that, which I appreciate a lot. I had a lot of fun, first of all. It was a great game. Got a poutine. Poutine was delicious. Tried their hot dog. Hot dog was fine. Should have got the burger. They have a decent burger. Anyway, food was good. It's Trackety. It's good. It's a good price, and it's good food.
Oh, yeah.
And that rink is just, it's fun. It's not a great rink to shoot video in, but it's a phenomenal rink to be at. A lot of really passionate fans. When we got there, we went over to the River Valley side because I thought that's where we were going to record and do the live stream, but the connection wasn't very good there. That's where I was for the first period. But when I got there, there's a bunch of River Valley people who, like, they were super nice, so happy to see us. They were like, set up wherever you want. Set up wherever you want. They're just the nicest people in River Valley, man. I love them. So it was a good game. I was kind of surprised that Trackety came out and scored as many as they did as early as they did.
They just wanted it.
They wanted it, man. They looked really good. They were passing well. They were playing well. River Valley was River Valley. They were hard-hitting. Such hard-hitting moments in that game. Yeah. There'd be like shifts where you'd see 3 or 4 solid hits, and it was insane. Such a game. Then River Valley started to battle back a little bit too late. Didn't have enough time to fully get back. Charles Austin played great in net.
Yep.
Exactly what we would expect. And Trackety, I want to say upset River Valley, but I don't know. Maybe it's not an upset. Trackety's a great team.
I don't know. Trackety's a really great team. Some might consider it an upset. I think they're pretty much on the same level when it comes to ability-wise. To me, it came down to the battle of goalies. Was it Simpson or was it Austin that was better? And at the end, Austin proved to take the nod.
Is Austin the best technical butterfly goaltender in the league?
I think so. I think he, not only that, but he's been there for, I think he said 17 years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of perks that comes with experience. And he's showing that right now.
Yeah, he looked really good last night. I think Trackety is exactly where they want to be rolling into the playoffs right now.
Exactly.
And just a fun game. People in Tracker are always pretty cool. They're nice people. The drive wasn't bad last night. I don't know why. We were having good conversation. And yeah, it was awesome. I was at the game with my sister, my mom. My mom was doing notes for us, which was awesome. I was running the live stream. I suck at running the live stream. I'm not good at running the camera. I forget to mute all the time.
And then you forget to unmute.
Yeah. There's no chance that you lose your job. I'll put it that way. You're really good at it. I don't understand how. My sister's really good at shooting the vertical video that we get done at games. I'm just not good at that. I'm good at, watching a game, dissecting it a little bit, and then I can talk about it because I like to talk a lot. But
that's why you're the boss, and that's why we're the employees.
It's been a fun season. The regular season is over.
It is officially over. Playoffs start this weekend. We have 8 games this weekend, 2 from each series. We have on Friday, the 26th, we have Miramichi and Spring Hill in Miramichi. And we have, where's the other one?
Shippigan's in Trackety at 8:30.
Shippigan's in Trackety at 8:30, yeah. So those are the first 2 games. What's there to be expected in these 2 games?
So I was a little preview here, and some of these interviews won't be out yet, but we've been working hard this week, and the players have come out. They've backed us up. It's really, thanks to all the boys for being so easy to work with and wanting to promote the league. So We have interviews this week with Nick Foran. We have interviews with Charles Austin, Trey Lewis, Tyson Donovan, Parker Deegan, Joey Bernard. We have Patrick Jones again. And we have Alex Collette.
Yeah.
So somebody from every team came out for an interview, which is amazing. And I was saying this to lead me somewhere. Oh, I was talking with Parker Deegan. I interviewed him this morning, so Wednesday morning. And he said something that I found interesting. They've only had their full roster for one game.
Yep. Crazy that they had that success with not even a full roster except for one game.
Yeah. Most games they'd be missing a couple guys or whatever. So if they're all there for the majority of these games, it's going to be a great series. That could be the best series in this round. Wouldn't shock me.
There's potential in all of them. The one that intrigues me the most is Bucktoosh and Dalhousie, because
Chig's Pizza?
Chig's Pizza, there you go. Shout out to Travis Robbie Show there.
I don't know. You want to get to Dalhousie and buy some pizza? Cheryl wants some Donair pizza, something fierce. She's out.
That barbecue chicken pizza is pretty damn good too.
So why does that series intrigue you so much?
Smart money says Dalhousie takes it, right? Mm-hmm. Smart money says that. You got Alex Collette in net. You got Logan Timmons, who scores at will. And the first two meetings, it wasn't the JC's roster, missing people and all that. You're going to have two full rosters here. Never count out the JCs. They've proven that time and time again this season. If they just get swept in 4, no harm, no foul. What if they make this interesting?
I think you're not wrong. I think the first time that these two met was in Bucktoosh on the second day of the year. So the JCs had just a shell of what they ended up being. The second time they met, I think they only had 11 or 12 players in Dalhousie. Yeah. They were running a couple lines and a couple defensive pairs, and that's all that it was. Mm-hmm. So we haven't really seen these two teams face off at their full ability. I think in saying that, we haven't seen the Bucktoosh lineup all be together a lot, and we see the full Dalhousie lineup almost every weekend.
Yeah, that's one of the things with Dalhousie is they are as advertised. It's Pascal Valcourt, it's Jesco Bernard, it's Joey Bernard, it's Ryan Mockler. It's all these guys. They've been there since the beginning of the season. So the reason they are favorites is because we have really seen the Dalhousie Marauders. This is the Dalhousie Marauders. Could they win the cup? Absolutely. I'd be happy if they would. I'd be happy for any team that wins the cup. I just want the cup to be won, though. But with Bucktoosh, they're almost like a closed book right now. What are they going to look like? Are they going to lay a big fart, or are they going to make this interesting? Can they upset the Dalhousie Marauders?
So looking at the Dalhousie lineup, their stats, there are, I think, 15 players who have 15 or more games played. That's pretty impressive.
There you go.
Not very many teams can say that. You have Jesco Bernard, who I think played 17 games. Pascal Valcourt, who played 18 games. You have a few guys who played 18. My point in saying that isn't to say that, they come as advertised or you know what to expect with them. I think the chemistry that they've built up is really going to be a force. And
that's going to be something hard to take away from them, too.
You watch the Dallas Marauders, I mean, you know what you're going to get. Those guys crash the net. They screen the goalie. Pascal Valcourt flies around the ice. They're hard-hitting. They're an intimidating team. If they can put out a line that's just absolutely terrifying, they're one of the best teams in years in senior hockey in New Brunswick.
Absolutely.
And they're not the only team. This is the most competitive I've ever seen this league. So I'm excited, but I do agree with you. I don't think you can count Bucktoosh out. Could Bucktoosh be the Florida? Could Bucktoosh be the Montreal Canadiens of a few years ago? You never know.
That's the beauty about playoff hockey is you never know.
So the second series we're going to talk about and break down a little bit is Shippigan and Tracadie.
Yeah. This one is, I know Shippigan, they had their problems at the beginning. Shippigan, since the beginning, we've been saying they are sneaky good. They kind of proved us right the last few weeks. This one is an intriguing one because I don't think that if one team's better than the other, it's only by a little bit.
It's the Battle of the Peninsula.
Exactly.
So if we break it down, I think Tracadie has better goaltending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Charles Austin is a brick wall. I
think Shippigan has a more experienced defensive core. Yeah. I don't know if they're better or not, but you got the Bizzos and you got some talent back there. That's when you look at the young guys that they have, they're being led by some really good leaders. That's a really good defensive core. Tracadie's got a good defense as well. They're young. Tracadie might have a little more firepower up front all year, but now you're seeing Chris Doyle start to click, and he had 2 hat tricks in 2 games on last weekend.
He did. Yeah, it's crazy how when we got closer to the playoffs, they kind of realized, hey, we're getting closer to the playoffs. We got to try and make a run at this. And they have, and they finished 7th still, right?
Yep, 7th.
They didn't finish in the basement, though.
No, I think, and I think they're, I will always hold they're sneaky good. They could very well upset Tracadie. Neither team's going to get exhausted from the travel. I mean, you're talking about 2 towns that are a half hour apart. I'm very excited to see this series. I wish it was a little bit closer to me, but I'm still going to try to make it to a couple games. Yeah. If there's one series in this round that could go 7, this is the one that could go 7 for me.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I don't know. There's just something Shippigan and Tracadie. There's that Peninsula rivalry. There can only be room for one.
Let's move on down the standings to the River Valley Lumberjacks.
They will be taking on the LC Puck Duck Hawks.
They've been the kryptonite for the Hawks all year.
Mm-hmm. In the regular season. This is playoff hockey. Everybody is counting the Hawks out. I don't know who's going to win. Either team, I think, could win. Everybody is picking River Valley. And with the record that River Valley has over the Hawks, I think the Hawks only beat them once.
That first game last year in LC, they lost the game in River Valley, and then they lost both games this year. What is it about River Valley that is so hard for the Hawks to overcome?
I think last year, wasn't it a short lineup for the Hawks when they went up to River Valley?
Yeah.
So I think this year for the Hawks, there was a lacking of chemistry, I think. They just couldn't click. Goaltending was questionable. And River Valley just knew where to strike. River Valley did an excellent job picking apart the LC Puck Duck Hawks.
And in saying that, the team that we're going to see for River Valley is not the team the Hawks saw last time they faced each other.
Nope.
They've upgraded some. And to be fair, the one thing that River Valley hasn't seen yet is a young man named Alex Arsenault.
Alex Arsenault is a great replacement for Bruno Richard.
Slightly more offensive skill than Bruno. Mm-hmm. Equally fast, just as much heart. Mm-hmm. He's a younger Bruno.
So that's a good replacement. Like we said, Lucky Millier ain't there anymore. But you got Andy Joseph now. Will he be there?
Yeah.
So, it's pretty much the same team as last year. I think the big question is going to be in net, who is starting, and just how's it going to be? Because the Hawks have given up a lot of goals.
a lot of goals for a team that's as good defensively as they are.
Yeah.
There's no lack of skill there.
We've said it more than once. They probably have the best defense in the league. When you are so full of defenses that they have to play forward, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and there's lots of leadership there. I think the one thing that the Hawks have that River Valley doesn't have is playoff experience.
Yeah, and as far as River Valley goes, I think it's a case of watch me. You think I can't do it? Watch me. They prove that. People are picking them to win, and I don't blame them for picking River Valley. They have the Hawks numbers. It's going to be an interesting one to see. After game one, I'm going to have an idea on who I'm leaning towards. Right now, it's a coin flip for me because the history leans in favor of River Valley. But playoff hockey is a different beast than regular season hockey. So I want to see the Hawks. The Hawks are good. The Hawks have the experience. South Division champions last year. So this one really intrigues me.
Yep, I can't wait to see the puck drop on that series. I think it's going to be very hard-hitting, very rough. Best fight of the year this year was Benji Curtis and Trey Lewis.
Absolutely. Was that the visor popping incident?
It was.
Yeah. So you remember that one. How many fights have we seen? And you remember the one with the visor popped out?
That was a great game. That was also the game that John Hardy did that diving sweep of the puck in the crease. Mm-hmm. It was one of the best defensive plays I've seen all year.
Yeah.
One thing last night in Trackety watching, who impressed me last night? Our buddy Tyson Donovan.
Yeah, Tyson's a pretty good player.
Tyson's having a good little run here. He 2 or 3 times Trackety step up to hit him, and he just plants his feet, and the Trackety player that went for the check ended up being the one that got hit. Tyson is just solid, man. I don't know. I think River Valley is a very talented team. Where they lack experience, you're not wrong that they're a team that wants to prove that they can. They have something to prove. That's a small town. Their fans are amazing. They're so kind. They're so loud.
They are.
It's going to be a phenomenal cold rink with really good burgers. And we'll get out there.
Fried onions.
We'll get out there for one of the games for sure. And can't wait for it. Last series, maybe might be the best series out of the 4. Who knows? Miramichi, that's my cat. Miramichi and Spring Hill.
This one's I feel like Spring Hill is another River Valley where it's like everybody pegged them as a bottom 4 team. And now they're middle. They're not bottom. They're right around the middle. Miramichi made all these signings. They became a powerhouse. I think a lot of teams were worried about Miramichi being so good. And they are. They are really good. But Spring Hill is really good too. I think everybody is going to be focusing on when Nick Foran and Bobby Davis are on the ice.
I can't wait. I hope that fight happens. But there's so many fights that could happen there. You could see Davis and Brennan. You could see Brennan go with Coulson. I mean, those are 2 teams that aren't scared to drop the gloves.
No.
So you're going to see some passion. Last time that we saw those teams face off was in January. Spring Hill had a very short roster that night, and it was the Hope Show.
Yep. Brandon Hope, geez. This guy could win them a series, or 2, or 3. Who knows?
Yeah, he could win them the cup. He could win them.
Brandon Hope, God, top 3 in the league? Is it Colette, Austin, and Hope?
In my opinion, yeah. I think it's Colette, Austin, and Hope. And I don't know if that's the order. I'm not sure that if Hope stays in this league, which I hope he does, I hope he comes back to Spring Hill next year and keeps playing because the kid's just crazy talented. He might end up being the best goalie in the league once he settles in a little.
Yep. We've seen him twice. Unbelievable saves. Like when you can make Corey Robishaw's jaw drop to the floor, you've done something pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a great goalie, man. He's fun to watch. Is that going to be the story of these playoffs, goaltending?
I'd say so, because every series, like Bucktush Dalhousie, it's the battle of the offense versus the brick wall and Cadet. Tracadie and Shippigan, again, offense versus a good goaltending. Miramichi and Spring Hill, Hope, again, in net. And the story of River Valley and Elsie is who's in net for Elsie. How many pucks are going to go in the net? I think you said this a few months ago. Team can be as good as they want to be, but you ain't winning any games if you're letting 10 goals in.
It's really hard to score 10 goals in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I even think beyond that, you think, like, you know, the battle of the goalies, Miramichi and Spring Hill, you have Vautour, who's phenomenal, and you have Hope on the other side, who's phenomenal. Yeah. You've got Colette versus sometimes shaky goaltending in Dalhousie. I think the Dalhousie goaltending is solid if they believe in themselves.
Who starts in net for Dalhousie? Do you think it's Gendron?
I would start Gendron just for his experience, but Savoie's been very impressive. I think if Gendron settles in and plays how he can play, he's amazing. The same story in Elsie. If you put Daigle in and Daigle settles in, we saw last year Daigle got a shutout in Game 7 against Bucktouche.
That was the only shutout that entire year.
Of the season for the Hawks.
Season. And a perfect time to do it. Game 7 of the South Division Championship. Daigle's really good. Mario Babineau, the five-hole. Once they figure that out, it's done. It's done. Every time I heard five-hole, I don't know if the other players had super hearing. Every goal was a five-hole.
You're not a Babineau guy.
I don't hate him, but you got to call a spade a spade. This is what we saw. Listen, I'm from Rishi Buckdew. I was a huge fan of the Hawks last year. In doing this, I'm a fan of all the teams now. There's not one team I prefer over the other. I enjoy all the teams. I want to see this league grow. I want more teams to join. Babineau he didn't cut it. And I don't mean that to be insulting. Sure, he's a great guy. Maybe he jumps on the ice and proves me wrong. I hope he does. But until that happens, listen, giving up 10 goals, you're not going to win a game.
We'll see who starts game 1 in River Valley on Saturday night. It's going to be very interesting. I'm sure they're going to be standing opposite Josh Simpson, who's really worked his way into being one of the best goalies in this league.
Yep.
And they have Ryu as well, so there's no lack of goaltending in River Valley. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this. So let's go over the rules a little bit here. For anybody that doesn't know the playoff rules for the BSHL, so obviously 3 periods, 20 minutes per period, and then they play a 10-minute overtime without resurfacing the ice. So if it goes into overtime, you're going to see a few minutes, just a break, like a 3-minute break where the players stay on the bench, and then they'll go out and they'll play a 10-minute overtime. If nobody scores in that 10-minute overtime, they go to the locker room, they take an intermission, they resurface the ice, and they come back out. It's sudden death. So 1 goal in that 10 minutes, it's over. No goals, it goes to the second overtime, which is a 20-minute period overtime. If there's no goal in the overtime, they resurface the ice, and it just keeps going. So that's what we're going to be looking at here in the playoffs. I know last year going in, I wasn't sure what the playoffs rules were for overtime, but that's what it is. It's 5-on-5 overtime, 10 minutes, then a resurface of the ice. I can't wait. I love playoff hockey. I live for playoff hockey.
It's the best. Playoff hockey reminds me, I always have to mention wrestling. It's like going into a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania. It's like you got the butterflies and you're just watching it. You know, it's something special. And it's unbelievable. I remember episode 1 when we were talking about the league and all that, and I could barely pronounce any names. I was greener than goose, you know what.
Jesse K.O. Bernard.
Jesse K.O. Bernard. I said that, ladies and gentlemen. Last year I followed the Hawks. I knew about the JCs because they were close. This year we followed the entire league, and I learned on the fly. Learned to really respect all the league, all the teams. Everybody had a face of their franchise. Everybody was good. Everybody played well. Before we go, do we mention the games of the weekend, where they're going to be, what dates and the times?
Sure. we can mention that based on what we know right now.
Yeah.
We'll only go into this weekend. So Spring Hill at Miramichi, 8:15 on Friday. Also 8:30 on Friday. Trackety is at home against Shippigan. On Saturday, there's 3 games. We have Bucktouche and Dalhousie at 7 p.m., Miramichi and Spring Hill at 8 p.m., Elspuktuk in River Valley at 6:30 at Prospect Place. Get a burger if you're there. On Sunday, we have River Valley facing Elspuktuk at 5:15. Note that, 5:15 at the Kent North on Sunday. Also on Sunday, Dalhousie is in Bucktouche. Normal start time for Bucktouche there, 6:45 p.m. And I believe, I don't have it confirmed yet, but I believe Game 2, Trackety Shippigan, will be Sunday night at 7:30 or 8:30 in Shippigan. So keep your eyes peeled. That schedule is not announced yet. The other 3 games, if you go to beausejour-seniorhockeyleague.ca/schedule.php, you will see the playoff schedule for the other 3 series. And we're making up some graphics, so they'll be on our Facebook page. We're sharing anything that the teams share. But what you need to know for now, this weekend, there's a home game for your favorite team. Get out there, enjoy some hockey. We're going to enjoy some hockey. I can't wait for it, man. It's time.
It's time. It's a little overwhelming sometimes because you're thinking, oh, all these games, and we're going to split up, and we got commitments with this. It's a hard commitment, but we're up for the challenge, and we're going to do this, and hope you guys enjoy this.
There will be streams most nights. If we're at a game, we're probably going to be streaming it. We have a second tripod on the way right now. There will be nights where we're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. So we're going to try to bring you as much action as possible. Thank you to all the teams for allowing us to stream their home games. The streams are fine. They're good. They don't replace getting out to a game.
No.
If the game's in your hometown, get out. Have some fun. You know, I love doing this for the visiting teams, or if somebody's got COVID or they're sick or something. It's a fantastic replacement, but there's just nothing there like being in the rink, feeling that energy, and playoff hockey. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Corey, we'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah. Some interviews were released earlier today. Some interviews are going to be released tomorrow, but check in. You will see an interview with a player from your favorite team. So thanks to all the boys for taking the time to do it. Can't wait to see what happens this first round. Can't wait to see who moves on to the second round. I'm excited. My cat's excited. She's meowing in the background. Everybody's excited. So, Corey, that's all we've got. So we'll see you soon.
Take care.